And we're back. This is our class lecture to discuss our new technology, what we're going to use for our live discussions. We're going to use the app Zoom. I want to remind you that this is not an official university technology. So we're going to try it out, and if we like it, we'll keep using it, and if we don't, we'll look for something else. While I'm adjusting things here, actually, this is my second recording today because I did this lecture and the recording failed. Technology can sometimes be challenging. So with Zoom, with all our technologies, we're going to go step by step. We're going to work slowly and try to figure things out. Don't worry if there's some headaches, some hiccups in the beginning. We're all learning together. So on the class e-board, in the notices section, there is a post for your class that talks about our Zoom meetings. Now, for my 3 classes this semester, in this first week, we're only going to use Zoom for our second class meeting. Excuse me, in this second week of school, we're only using Zoom for our second class meeting. We're going to use the recordings from the first week and the first recording from week 2 plus this recording, and all those recordings and all the assignments and activities and exercises and quiz and readings that are on the e-boards, the CTL. You should watch all of these and do all of these, or at least look at all of these, before our live class discussion on Zoom, which will take place for EPA 1 night class, EPA 1 night class, Wednesday, 6:50 p.m. Yosachi Oshipun until 7:30, 7:35, something like that. So we'll have a live chat for EPA 1 Wednesday night. EPA 1 day class, their second meeting is Friday at noon. Friday at noon. And they have a different address, a different Zoom meeting URL, which will be in the notices board. And then we have EPA 3, which has their meeting on Thursday at 10:30 a.m. So for each of these meetings, you're going to want to have tested your computer and got things set up, and then enter the class about 2 minutes early, because it can take a little time to adjust. So what we're doing in this talk here is helping you to set up your Zoom and be ready to join. Now I'm going to put my PowerPoint up on the website with the notice so that you can double and triple check easily. So let's get started. Getting started with Zoom. First, you're going to click on the link for your class. Now, if it's before your class starts, it might not work perfectly, but you can install the app anyway. And you might just go into an empty room. But you can join a class a little early. I hope you will. And you can talk with your friends if I'm not there yet. Okay? So the first time you click on a link, the first time for this computer, you will need to download the Zoom app. After the first time, if you're using the same computer, you don't need to install the app. It will pop up automatically unless you clean the computer. All right, so the first time you're going to want to install the app. It takes a couple minutes, and that's why we're going through this process. I'm going to show you a video of a quick and successful install on my netbook computer that I made this morning. And it doesn't take long. It's nice and easy. So I clicked on the link in the URL. That's for a different class. And it pops up in my browser. I click on the link in my browser, click, and we get this screen where the computer is working. It says it should start a download automatically. My computer was happy to download it. It wants to put it in the downloads file. I say that's fine. Save it. Click. And I'm using Chrome, but in most browsers you'll get a place where you can find that new file. There's lots of things you can do, but just go ahead and click on it. And we get this notice. Your meeting will begin soon. It is installing what it calls the Zoom client. Okay? We can call it an app or a client. It means the thing that your computer is using. Now I'm done with that video. That's how easy it can be if everything works perfectly. But it might not work perfectly. So let's look at what happens when it doesn't work perfectly. We click on the link and we see this wheel inside the red circle. This wheel is going round and round and round and round. But maybe nothing happens from the browser. Let's wait about 15 seconds or so. Sometimes it's really fast. You saw mine. Sometimes it takes longer. But after 15 seconds or so, if it's not working, go ahead and click on that blue area that says download and run Zoom. That will give you a screen something like this one. And you'll get a notice that says please click open Zoom meetings if you see the system dialog. We're going to look at that in a moment. But just wait, give it a few seconds, 15 seconds maybe. If nothing happens, then we have more choices. But first, let's say everything worked well. Or you've already got the app on your computer. In either case, if it works perfectly or whatever, you might just get this open Zoom pop-up in the gold box. That means we're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to go. Just click the open Zoom inside the green circle and you're off to the races. We're ready for class. That's the best case. But if that doesn't happen, if you don't get the pop-up, you're still in that launch screen that we had before. Remember we said open Zoom meetings if you see the dialog. Well, if you don't get that, you have two choices. The first arrow says if nothing prompts from the browser, click here. That means you're going to enter the class meeting with no app, with no client, just your browser. The problem with using just your browser is the same problem if you just use a simple cell phone or a tablet. I have a tablet. I use a tablet on the train all the time. I use a tablet as my cell phone. It is my cell phone. But we don't want to use a tablet or a cell phone in our class because it gives you many fewer options. Okay? It gives you many fewer options. You'll have a better experience in our class if you can use a computer. So instead of click here, it's much better to try to download and run Zoom. So let's download the app. Click on the download and run Zoom. And in my computer it ran up to 90%, and then I stopped it. Well, here's a picture that shows more detail. When we click on, when we click download and run Zoom, the first thing that happens is, as we saw in the video, the installation file will download onto your computer. The app will download onto your computer. And you'll need to click on that. In some computers, you might have to find where your downloads are going. After you click on that, you'll get this pop-up in the blue circle that will say your meeting will begin soon, and it's installing the client. Worst case, if this really fails, you go back and try again, and then you'll click on the browser system. At this point, we're connecting to Zoom and we get another one of these circles. And it's just saying, okay, the app is installed, now we're talking to the Zoom server. Once you get into the Zoom server, it will ask for your name. You want to type over that blue area. I suggest you use your Korean name and maybe an English nickname. It's your choice. You can write your name in Korean. You can write your name in English, but your Korean name, for example, Kim Jung-min, could be Jungmin space Kim. You can use an English nickname like Johnny. It's very important you use the same name every time, because I have to mark your attendance, your chosukbu, and I have to figure out who is who. So if I can't find Kim Jung-min, but I see James, I don't know who James is. In the next class meeting it's Johnny, and the next class meeting it's Joe. How can I know who's Kim Jung-min? So it's much better to write your name, not too long, but something so that I can check attendance. Also, your name will show under your video when we're in class, so everyone can see a name with your face. So not too long, but something that will help everyone to know who you are. And especially if this is your own computer, you can click the box that says remember my name for future meetings. Then you can miss this step. You can skip this step. The other thing to know is once you're in class, it is possible to change your name. It is possible to change your name. So it's not the end of the world, life or death, if you don't do this right. So you enter your name and you click join a meeting, and you get another pop-up. The wheel is working. Now your computer says, how do you want to join? It is possible to join only audio, no video. Not exactly sure how that works. But basically you're going to want to click this join with computer audio, the big blue arrow. Before you do that, you can test your speaker and your microphone. That might be important. If you usually use Kakao Talk, Voice and Video, or Skype, they have system checks. You can make sure that your computer is working. But sometimes people change their settings because they're doing some other special work, or they're using a microphone this time, but the other time they didn't use a microphone, and their settings are wrong. So it's a good idea to click here on the test speaker and microphone and make sure that your computer is happy. Finally, you could click this box here that says automatically join audio by computer. But the problem is, again, if you change your settings in your computer sometime and then you join, your settings might be wrong. And then I can't help you. I can help you with some Zoom settings, but I cannot help you with your computer settings. So much better to test your speaker and microphone before you join the class. So once you join that, once you click that computer audio, you're joining the class. Will you have a good connection? Well, there's a few things you want to think about, and maybe you should worry about this before you join your first class. 1. Sound. When I do my other recordings for our class, I don't usually use a headset. I just use the mic that's built into my webcam. I'm in a very quiet place in my house. It should be fine. Maybe sometimes a little noise from my wife or my children in the house or a truck outside, but should be fine. But in a class with many people, all the tiny little noises that each person picks up comes together, and it makes the meeting so noisy no one can hear well. So using a mic helps to keep the outside noise away. Just you. And the earphone helps you to hear more clearly, and generally the earphones are connected with the mic. Now, if you don't have a headset like this, even the earbud system from your phone can help. Like this, right? These thingies. I want to point out, here we go, that's a little better maybe, that generally with the earbuds, there's a mic piece, and you put that in your ear, and the mic hangs down. It's still going to pick up sounds from various places. So it might be good to hold it close to you. Earphones are best. Earbuds are not bad. Your netbook computer, your notebook computer has a mic and a camera. If you're in a very quiet place, that could be okay. You probably still want to have earphones or earbuds. Sound. Camera. I cannot require you to have a camera, but all your classmates will appreciate seeing you when you're talking. The reason we're going to have the discussion class on Zoom is so that you can talk to each other and you can talk to me. The camera makes life much easier. Please, please, please use your camera. While you're in Zoom, you can mute, turn off your mic, and you can blank out your video so no one can see you. So if you need to do something, you can do that. But in general, we hope that it's on. Mic, camera, a private space. Now this can be really hard, but if you're in a private space, A, no one will bother you. B, there's no outside sounds that other people are hearing. C, you can concentrate, you can focus on this class. And, oh, terrible letter, D, you don't feel shy. Other people are seeing you while you're talking. Can be a little strange. So a private place is much better. And good internet connectivity. Okay? Bad internet makes everything work slow, can crash, you fall out of the class. You've had that experience. You've watched movies. You've been in chats where the connection was bad. Ideal case, your computer is plugged into the LAN, into the hardwire into the internet system. That might not be your option. I know many netbooks, my netbook doesn't even have a connection that way. Second, a good Wi-Fi experience. Now, if you're on campus somehow, some of the areas on campus, the Wi-Fi is really horrible, really terrible. But other places it's good. So you want a good Wi-Fi connection. Sometimes people have even used a hotspot from their phone. They've created a Wi-Fi hotspot and had a better experience than using, example, the campus Wi-Fi. 4G connection is good. 3G, less good. So now we're in the class. We're connected. We've clicked the join audio. We've got a good earphone sound system. We've got a good microphone. We've got a good camera. We've got good internet connectivity. We've got privacy, noise free. We're ready to go. When you join the class, I'm going to see you like this. You also can take this panel view. I'll show you that in a moment. But what I see is 20, 30 people on their camera. And one person whose camera is not on. I see the name, but I don't see the person. Okay? So this is what I can see when I'm teaching. And if you want, you can also see like this. And notice that this guy, his frame is yellow. That means he's the main speaker right now. He's on. Okay? And we'll see that the speaker view, the way you will usually see my class, is like this. Yeah, he's kind of silly. He's a friend of mine. He hosted a class meeting, and I joined it. And because we were all kind of learning, he decided to wear his Santa cap. And he's in his wife's office that has this character. Maybe you know. Just for fun. Anyway, speaker view. You can see the main speaker. You can also see the whiteboard or a video if I play that. In this speaker view, it only shows 5 students at one time. But you can click the arrow to roll that 5 to the next 5, roll that 5 to the next 5. Okay? So you can find everyone there. That's the top, except for this turquoise box. Inside the turquoise box, there are 2 designs. This first one shows, I think, 9 dots or 9 squares. That takes us to the panel view. So you can see everybody's cell, everybody's square, block, cell. C-E-L-L means area. Or if you click the 4 corners, it gives you the main screen like this. All right? Now, this bottom row, I've got arrows to show what's on the panel, or the chats and other panels. And we can click these on and off. We'll do more of this during our first live meeting, but I'm going to explain some of it to you now, and then we'll finish up this session. All the way to the left, there are 2 big red boxes and 2 smaller boxes. To the far left, this first box is your mic, your microphone. And underneath it, you can see it says mute. Maybe you can't see it, it's very small. When you click this button, it will get a red line across it, and your microphone will be dead. It will be muted. No one can hear you. Follow this red line across, and you can see the same function here on this long column. You can mute your phone your mic here. So that's more convenience to you. Next to that microphone is what we call a caret. C-A-R-A-T, the little cap. The half of a smiley face in Korean SMS. If you click on that caret, it will give you mic options. For example, if you have 2 or 3 microphones on your notebook computer, for example, a headset and the built-in mic, and maybe some app you have that has its own mic system, so you can click which mic to use. In the same way, the next bigger box is for your webcam, and if you click it, you can turn your webcam off. Click it again and your webcam is on. There's a caret there too for more video options. Every person's computer will have different options under these 2 carets. That's completely a question of how Zoom is talking to your computer. There's nothing I can help you with there. Continue across, the next thing we see has a silver X on it. Where there's a silver X, it means that probably you can't use that. It's probably only for the teacher, or when the teacher gives controls to another student, another person. So in general, you won't be able to access that first one. The second one has a yellow box on it. It says participants. Participants means all of the people who are joining this meeting, this class. And if you click on it, you can see everyone. You'll get a list like this one in this column. You can find a participant by writing their name. You can see a listing. And we can see, for example, the first person, Robert Barron, that's me, has his microphone, has his video cam. And these can change colors if it's on or off. Okay. The next person, Eric Reynolds, was the host of this meeting. So we can see all of the participants. The next thing is a green circle. It has a big green dot above it. That is to share your screen. And usually you won't be able to do that unless I give you permission. Somebody has something on their screen and they want to show their classmates, then I can allow that. But usually you can't do that. The next circle, kind of a wine colored circle, says chat. Click on that and it opens the chat column, the group chat. And it's like every other chat function you've ever used. You can write your message and other people will see it. You can choose if your message goes to everyone, there's a circle right there, or only to a few people. You can attach a file. I will use this sometimes, or I will use this to ask everybody to say a comment or something like that. So the chat function is very useful, and you can chat with other students. Sometimes I will turn that off, sometimes I will turn that on, but the chat function can be very useful. If you want to ask me a question and I don't see you, you can type your question in the group chat. Again, the next icon is X'd out. That is to record. You cannot record our class, but I can and I will. I can and I will because I must. The university requires evidence, proof. Show that I taught a class. Show that you were in the class. So we have to have a video. Can I share the video with you? Well, I don't know yet. I don't know. I have to ask school their permission. If I share the video, it will only be with students or with university administration. I cannot share our class with other people. You have privacy rights. Okay? Because I'm not sharing the video with outsiders, please do turn on your phone. please do turn on your camera. And wear clothes. Pajamas are not the best choice if you're going to be on camera and classmates can see you. Wear clothes. You see, I'm teaching, so I'm wearing my tie. I might not wear the tie every day, but I'm teaching. I'm wearing a tie. I'm wearing a nice shirt. My lights are kind of strange. It damages how things are. It's very dark places. It looks very wrinkled. It's not wrinkled. It's just the strange light in my room. All right? The orange circle is reaction. Smiley faces and things like that. So you click on that and you have some reaction options. Up here in this column, we can see some of them. Raise your hand if you have a question. You can raise your hand on your video, but if I have 30 students, I might not see it. But if you raise your hand by clicking that blue hand, I can see it. If I ask a question, you can say green check, yes, or red X, no. Okay? There's a few others here that I can't see very well right now, but the last one in a circle is 3 dots. That's just like Google's 3 dots. It means more choices, more options. Okay? Now, again, we're all learning this together. Nobody is the master of this technology. So there's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be some little mistakes. And we just do our best. The last thing is this big red ugly box kind of thing here. It's very important. It says leave meeting. If you click this, I cannot help you. It means you're gone for today. Now you can try to join the meeting again by the same process, click on the link, but when you click the meeting, bye-bye, you're gone. I can't do anything. All right? So only leave the meeting when you're done. Remember that this class counts in the Chosukbu, in the attendance roster. So if you come very late and leave very early, no attendance points. Just like the classroom. Please come on time. Please stay full time. Please give us your attention. It doesn't help you in our class meeting if you're studying a book of your other class and not listening and your volume is down and your earphones are off or down like this, then it doesn't help you learn anything and improve in our class. And if I ask you a question and you can't hear me, maybe you have a problem. All right? So we're all doing our best. We're all going step by step, and we'll see how things go. If you have any questions, write questions in the Q&A section or send me a message. I'll be happy to help you. But you have to ask. Thanks a lot. See you in class.